We are building bridges across Central Asia. Green is the trend these days, not the color, but the content. Astana has gathered environmentalists and politicians, engineers and scientists from around the world to discuss the new global challenges. The leading figure of the German Green Party and former Vice-Chancellor Joschka Fischer points out that the economic growth is slower than desired not only in the Asian region, but in the whole world. The world faces serious challenges, as impoverishment of natural resources and climate change are dwindling. These challenges require new solutions. Such challenges are especially relevant for China and Southeast Asia. The problem will soon become of a global scale. Climate change will have a negative impact on the planet Earth. This will become more and more evident very soon. The nations will put pressure on their governments to ensure that states respond to these challenges adequately. The third industrial revolution still largely relies on hydrocarbons. Nevertheless, the age of oil is obviously getting close to its decline. At the current burn rate, the oil reserves will hardly satisfy the needs of the next generation. Kazakhstan's scientists have made some estimates relevant for the country's growth. Almost one-third of country's agricultural land has degraded or is under serious threat. By 2030, the shortage of water resources will amount to 14 billion cubic meters due to heavy reliance on cross-border rivers and the threat of global warming that can lead to intensive drying of waters. 97% of household waste is kept in uncontrolled landfills, while many other countries process at least half of all their waste. Inefficient use of resources leads to a loss of profits in the amount of up to $8 billion annually. The forecasts are frightening. Cost-efficient and eco-friendly solutions are needed if we want to plan in terms longer than 50 years. However, these solutions will require collaboration with neighboring states. After all, the problem is of at least a regional scale. We need to consider the drawbacks of the industrial development. The violation of ecosystems and depletion of resources is a great example. In today's world, any environmental problem cannot be solved in isolation from a single ecosystem. Regional systems are linked. Thus, internal problems of a single country become the problems of Central Asia. That is why we propose taking an important step. We invite our neighbors to join the discussion platform of Green Bridge Partnership Program. Some waters are being used by several countries. Countries' industrial development and growth of production triggers a greenhouse exhaust, which will cover the entire Asian mountain system. Scientists predict that the ice age is not far off from now. The warming will first lead to melting of snow caps, resulting in a massive flood. Later, desertification of land will take place. At present, preventing environmental disasters requires green solutions. This entails a whole set of activities or a new philosophy of life, including a prudent attitude towards nature, transition to alternative energy sources, and innovative production technologies. Green economy draws attention in the business environment. Financial funds, governments of advanced countries, businessmen and consumers are already building green economies. Even computer graphics can be referred to as green technology because it has replaced real scenes with blood and blasts with digital means of production, such movie scenes. Green technologies encourage the development of high-tech industries. Spain expresses readiness to render any assistance in establishing a green bridge in Asia. Kazakhstan is committed to sustainable development, and I am confident that in our mutual exchange the environment will play an increasingly important role. Environmental protection is an area in which our companies are the most technologically advanced. Our companies have applied the first leading technologies and begun to export in around the world, including Kazakhstan. Our cooperation with Kazakhstan is especially successful in the processing of municipal waste. Kazakhstan's green initiatives have turned development of an innovative and green economy into a modern trend. Astana hosted a forum where a Green Bridge Partnership Program was launched and its charter was adopted. Experts believe that the program will become the new driving force of growth in Central Asia. Entire economies can be built on green approaches. A striking example is the country of Denmark. Since 1980, the country's GDP grew by 78% with minimal increase in power consumption. Sweden plans to give up oil, coal and gas consumption and transit to renewable sources of energy by 2020. Brazil plans to convert 80% of transport biofuels from sugarcane. South Korea has invested almost 10 billion euros for development of green transportation system, water supply and waste treatment technologies. South Korea was first to announce the concept of green growth as a national strategy. Kazakhstan has also developed and adopted its own national green economy strategy. The country encourages its neighbors to support this initiative. Sustainable use of water resources and development of highly efficient energy are among the main priorities. We are convinced that without these tasks, further progress is impossible for the continuous steady growth of our economies. Ultimately, long-term and the whole well-being of our citizens cannot be achieved. Share of alternative and renewable energy should reach 50% by 2050. Shortage of drinking water should be resolved by 2020. Shortage of water in agriculture should be eliminated by 2040. Efficiency of agricultural land use should be increased by 1.5 times by 2020. According to forecasts, transition to green economy will additionally increase country's GDP by 3% and create more than 500,000 jobs, and most importantly, generate entirely new industries and new standards for life.